Hi, last year I streamed a lot of games. I'd streamed previously kind of just to see how I felt about it, but once I came back to streaming in 2024, I really found a kick for it. I've always been really bad with sticking with games. I'll play a game for a little bit and then be like, I'll come back to it. And I end up playing the same games over and over again. And I have a whole wall of games here, and it's like 95% of them I've never played. So streaming to me was a good way to force myself, have some kind of responsibility of I gotta get through these games. So as a responsible streamer, I said I'm gonna make a tier list of every game I played last year from best to worst. It's now April. This was recorded back in December of last year. Really, I don't have a good excuse. Also, you may be wondering, what is this quality? What is this beautiful Game Boy quality we're seeing here? You haven't hit 1,000 subs yet. Currently, we are so close to 400, so close. But it really is, like, it sucks because I'm such a people person. I wanna like talk to you face to face. Which makes it kind of hard when you can't do a face reveal. So this is the closest you're gonna get. Game Boy camera, baby. I don't know, I'm being really silly, but I really hope that y'all like this video. It's taking me way too long to put together. This went from a 2-hour long edit to less than an hour. So say hi to Stumblyn in the past. Whoop, 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 whoop. So as you can see here, I have mostly every game we played last year, and we will go over some of the games that didn't make the list. Not necessarily because they're not good. It's mostly just they don't really fit in, and we'll talk about it. And some of these I don't even think really fit in necessarily. To start, we got God tier, which is the best of the best. We got A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and then trash. I want to make this as simple and easy to understand as possible. I started the year out, so I mean we played a lot of just random NES games, Super Nintendo games, and 64 games. In that case, there's a lot of games to go through, and that doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? I ended up playing about half of these. I'm gonna play Mario 3 very soon. Castlevania is another one I'd like to play. Let's see, what else do we have? Super Mario World's on the list, obviously. Everybody knows Mario World. We did end up playing Diddy Kong Racing. I apparently played a little bit of Mario 64 here, but Mario Builder's not on the list for many reasons. We did play through Banjo-Kazooie. So you gotta get the gist. We got Zelda in here, which we did end up playing. Sonic 2 we ended up playing through. So it's about 50-50, I'd say, between what we ended up playing and what we haven't. And some of these, like Sonic Adventure, is coming soon to a stream near you. So I think that's a good way to start. So the first game that we played was Yooka-Laylee. Where do I want to put it on this list? Because the problem is Yooka-Laylee was definitely one of the video games of all time. I don't hate it. I enjoyed the stream, and it being like one of the very first streams I did coming back, I feel like helped a lot in getting my feet back, because it had been so long. And I don't know, I kind of fell into it pretty quickly with Yooka-Laylee. And so I do have a soft spot for it, but I have to go, did I like it based on the stream? It's not, did I like it because of the audience? Well, I don't know. The streaming aspect is a part of my enjoyment of these games. You know, if I thought, hey, I'm not going to enjoy streaming this, but I want to play this game, I wouldn't stream it, right? That's where I'm at. Yooka-Laylee's a rough one. I've played through this game a couple times, and my immediate gut reaction to Yooka-Laylee is I think it's a D tier. I don't like this game very much. The sequel, The Impossible Lair, is really good, and I meant to play that, and I just didn't get around to playing it. They're remaking this game. I assume it comes out this year, but I mean, it might not. Who knows? I don't know. It's so wishy-washy. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Maybe D tier's a little low. Maybe C tier. I don't think I'd ever go back to Yooka-Laylee. I don't think I really want to touch that game anymore, but the remake looks promising. It does. And even some of the gripes that I have on the side about it, I think it would be good. I think it would be good in the long run. So hopefully I can eventually put Yooka-Laylee remake way above it. So in that case, let's go to Kazooie, which is right here. I mean, what am I supposed to say? You know, Banjo is a phenomenal game. I think the last time I played it, I recognized how I've been kind of harsh on it sometimes, and I go, I think it's a little overplayed, but honestly, I think it's deserved. I think this game really deserves the love that it gets, and this is coming from somebody who's played Banjo like so many times. I can't gush on it any more than I probably already have or did during that stream. And the funny thing too is I have the Banjo streams, but I also have the old Banjo streams somewhere in here. Where is the Banjo playlist? So I have have the new, I'd say the new ones, right? And then the old ones are from like 2023 April, so like over a year before I came back and started streaming. The streams themselves are not super great, and I don't even think I beat it. So I've played Banjo twice on this channel, but I've played it many times outside of that, and I really do. I really think Banjo, I think it gets its A tier. After this, we played Dinosaur Planet, which it's hard to put into a tier list like this because it's not finished, but this game holds a lot of meaning to me. Again, I was trying to be more fair with like what games I did and didn't put in. I think if I have another tier that I just call NA, non-applicable, it doesn't really fit anywhere. I enjoyed playing it. I have a soft spot for it for sure, but I don't think inherently I can really rate this in like a bunch of other games that are actually finished, right? After Dinosaur Planet, we started the Mario Builder, which as you can see is not on this tier list. And the reason for that is that's more of a project versus a game. There is a lot of Mario Builder. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it really is applicable. So I just don't want anybody to go, where's this at? And then after that, also with Sonic Delta, is Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles put together and the Sonic 3 engine. And I mean, this was fun to play, but it's kind of just Sonic 1, 2, and 3, which I ended up streaming later on. So we're going to skip over that one too. And I think we're going to start with Ocarina. Ocarina, I have mixed feelings on. Ocarina is a good game. Obviously, a lot of people have very, 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 very fond feelings of Ocarina. However, I didn't love it as much as other people seem to. And maybe it's because I didn't grow up with it. Maybe it's because, I don't know, I've kind of said my piece on it during those streams, but the game feels very obtuse and not in a good way. It's an early 3D Zelda game. And the thing is, its sequel is really, really good. I really liked Majora's Mask, but I don't think I'd ever go back to Ocarina, at least in the way that I played it. It's not that I had a bad time with Ocarina. I'm looking at the games that I actually played this year, and I think I enjoyed a lot of other stuff more. Banjo, I don't really have any complaints. That game's very good. Ukulele, I had a lot of complaints with. Zelda, I don't think was the magical experience some other people had. And again, I'm going to be moving stuff around as the tier list progresses. I kind of feel like that might be where I'm coming from. But before you get all mad about Ocarina, we got to remember that Majora's Mask also exists. I actually don't know. Do I want to put an A or S? I say S, God tier. Majora had issues. I'm not pretending it didn't have some issues, but I really liked what Majora did. I love the story. I don't know, there was a lot to it that I really enjoyed. I really liked my time. Even just the transformations, the world, but it does get tedious in some places. There are some places where I go, what? Why do I have to redo this a 10th time? It's like I get the times resetting, but man, I'm going in circles doing these things. Other than that, though, I think Majora was really, really good. I can see where the Zelda team was coming from and their evolution from Ocarina to Majora. I like the Ocarina's more streamlined, I guess, but the puzzles weren't always super fun. The exploration wasn't always... Getting from point A to point B wasn't super fun. I mean, especially just running around that big empty field. Like, I know people have nostalgia for this. I don't think it vibes with me the same way. I don't have any nostalgia for it. So I'm looking at this going, what am I doing? But I did like it. I just didn't love it. Majora's Mask I really liked. I really, really did. I don't know if it's better than some of the other games I played this year, and this may change. I may end up putting this in God tier. But for right now, I think A tier is fair. After this, we played Banjo-Kazooie, the Bear Waker. Now, this is where, I talked about Delta. I've talked about some other stuff. ROM hacks are weird. I don't really know how to label ROM hacks. They're short games. They're short experiences for the most part, especially something like this. But at the same time, how do I rate a game like this? You know what I mean? I think Bear Waker was good. I think it had some fun little bits to it, but it's definitely a ROM hack. I think Banjo ROM hacks will evolve within the next 2-3 years. I think we're going to see some crazy stuff with it. But for right now, it just doesn't really work. I like some aspects of it for sure. I think I got stuck though at parts. I didn't enjoy it as much as I think some other people did. It's a neat novelty. I don't think it's like one of those experiences I'll be like, sit down, you have to try this. Next, we played Diddy Kong Racing, and not just any Diddy Kong Racing. We played Diddy Kong Racing in hard mode. I've always loved Diddy Kong Racing. Game's a lot of fun. I made it hard for myself intentionally, and it was only a few streams. I really liked what I got to play of Diddy Kong Racing. With that said, I've played this game so many times, and I understand, you know, it's kind of laggy. It's kind of, there are bits to it that I could see somebody getting frustrated with, and it's a little clunky, you know, it's an earlier N64 game. With that said though, I really like Diddy Kong Racing, and I think it's one of the best kart racers really out there. I just don't know if it goes in the that's so hard because I really want to put it here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these three up here together, and then if I start just putting a bunch of stuff in God tier, I'm gonna knock it down. Then we played Donkey Kong 64. So I didn't 100% DK64 when I streamed it. I have done that before. I didn't do the same for Banjo. I didn't do the same for a lot of these games, going out of your way to collect stuff, especially in a game that I've collected everything multiple times. I don't think every game needs to be completed. Sometimes you can just have a lot of content just to kind of help pad out the gameplay, right? Like if you miss a couple things, you go, I don't know where this is at. Well, thank God there's 100 other things I can go collect versus, oh, I'm stuck until I figure this out. But DK64 I think is a lot of fun. I don't think it is like the best game ever. There are inherently things that are not great, but you get that final boss is really cool. It's got great music, just like Banjo has really good music. I mean, like I'm skipping over Banjo. Like I just figure everybody knows about Banjo. Like what more can I add to the conversation on Banjo? It's got good music. It's a great game, designed very, very well. Donkey Kong 64 is a lot bigger. I don't know. It's just a big game. It really is, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. And I mean, I was collecting stuff just kind of for fun, and I ended up getting to the final boss really easily. I think people's mentality of, oh, there's too much to do. It's like, just do what you want in that moment. You don't have to go and collect a whole bunch of stuff. I went out of my way for collectibles and didn't have to collect half the things, right? I ended up backtracking halfway through the game just because I wanted to go see some of the other levels. I was like, I want to go back to some of these because they're fun, not so much because I needed to. And I mean, you're not sitting down and playing a game in a full run. Every time you start up the game, you start right back on DK Isles, and it's like, okay, what do I want to do this time? I want to put it higher. I don't, it's not even nostalgia. It's just, I really like DK64, but I think A tier might be too high for it. A lot of the mini games are not super fun, you know, Beaver Bother, but there's some other ones that are just kind of numbing, just kind of boring, which kind of brings down the experience. Honestly, I think B tier is fine for DK64. Then we played Astro's Playroom. I just kind of grabbed this image because there's Astrobot here as well. Astro's Playroom and Astrobot are a lot of fun. Astro's Playroom is outstanding. This game, Astro's Playroom, is so good. It's short, it's to the point, it's got so many fun little things. I'm not a huge fan of all the, well, really, I don't like the monkey. I don't like the monkey and the motion controls. I could see myself being like, well, but again, those sections aren't super long, and it's just kind of the chop up running around, right? It's just something extra to do. Actually, I'm not sure where I want to put Astro because I kind of feel like A might be more appropriate. And same for Astrobot. Astrobot is just more Astro's Playroom. It's a lot bigger. There's a lot more levels. It is very fun. I think they took like whatever criticisms there were of Astro's Playroom and adapted it for Astrobot, and it worked out in their favor really well. I mean, it flipping won Game of the Year. Incredible stuff. At the same time, Astrobot feels like it's taking from every game that has ever existed ever. Whatever best bitch, throw it in there. And that goes even more so for all the references, all the character references and stuff. And where in Astro's Playroom, each one had like kind of a diorama of what was going on. It wasn't you collecting the bots. It was little dioramas just to show like Sony franchises or Sony adjacent, you know, like Crash Bandicoot, whatever. Astrobot made it its whole gimmick, but then none of the levels were based on any of those franchises. They were just, here's some NPCs that, I don't know, it's a weird balance, right? I didn't hate Astrobot by any stretch. Astrobot is a lot of fun. I just don't think it's as incredible as some other people say. I think I actually enjoy Astrobot just for the sake of it being shorter, because I feel like Astrobot kind of, I don't want to say overstayed its welcome. That's a hard thing to quantify, but there was a lot of times where I was like, man, we're really stretching this out a little bit. The challenging levels were really fun. The final boss was really cool. This feels more like a celebration of Sony, while this felt like more of a celebration of just Sony IP and Sony games, and all these franchises with little dioramas, and they're kind of acting out stuff, and there's just more of like eye candy. Just stop and look. Whereas Astrobot, there really isn't any of that. It's more just you're going from point A to point B in a level. You get gimmicks in a lot of these levels, and not all of the gimmicks are super fun. They're all very solid, but I'm thinking specifically like the ball. Like, oh, it's cool. It feels like it's vibrating and I'm rolling across like spikes, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. I can feel that. But the ball's not that interesting. the placing platforms below you to do stuff, that's not super interesting. There's a couple transformations that are really cool, like the water one where you absorb stuff and then spew it. Like, that's fun, but again, that's not even something you haven't seen before. I mean, Mario Sunshine's been out since 2003. That's kind of how I feel on it. And yes, I will say that this is going down based on how much I love it. So I like, I guess, Ocarina of Time more than Banjo Wind Waker. But I assume if I start putting more stuff in this tier, this is going to get strung way down. I don't know. We're going to be moving stuff as we go. Parking Garage Rally Circuit. I have played a lot of racing games in my time. This one stuck out to me really hard. I remember seeing it on Twitter and I just said, I kind of want to play that. And so I got it right when it came out, and it's had updates since. I've wanted to go back to it. And I made the mistake during the recording of keeping the stupid starting soon screen there the entire time I streamed. I didn't realize it. So, and again, this was still pretty early on in my streaming stuff, because this was like in between some of these other games. I wasn't as aware sometimes of like my setup. I really like this game. I think B tier is fine. Apparently it's getting custom levels, it's getting new updates. I need to check it out again on stream at some point, but I really did like Parking Garage Rally. The music's really good. I mean, it claims itself as a Sega Saturn-esque game, so I really like it. I think B tier is good for it. I probably will come back to it at some point this year, and if it's gotten some crazy updates or whatever, it might go up higher. Next, we had Echoes of Wisdom, which this is kind of where I start to remember these streams a bit better. Echo of Wisdom, I got specifically because it was the new Zelda, and I thought it would do well streaming wise. And I was like, well, I want to play something new that's coming out right now. I got the game, and I kind of went into it going, this is what I'm expecting out of a Zelda game. And we had just finished Majora's Mask. I had planned to do a lot more Zeldas in between there, but Majora just kept taking so much time, and I was having such a good time with Majora, I just didn't want it to end. And so I ended up playing Majora all the way up to this, and Echoes of Wisdom, I hated. I hated that game when I started it. I was like, this is just Nintendo late generation slop, right? And so had I stopped it, it probably would have gone in trash tier. It probably wouldn't have got that far. However, I kept playing it, and as I continued, I realized the worst part of the game is the opening. And the menus kind of suck in the performance isn't super great, but I end up really liking Echoes of Wisdom. The end game is so good. I have described the end game to other people as, well, not to spoil, but the end of Echoes of Wisdom, I've described it as a second player game, because you don't really have to do anything. You just get to watch Link knock the shit out of Ganon, or who is it? Not Ganon, it's Noel. That was the name of the character, Noel. So I don't know. I really like this game. And I think when it comes out on Switch, I say comes out, when I get to play it on Switch 2 at 60 FPS, because we know, we'll just hope to God that it runs better on Switch 2. If Echoes of Wisdom runs better and is a better game inherently than what I played initially, I think it would go in an A tier. I really do. I think the one thing that's holding it back is how bad the performance was, and that opening's really rough. That is not a good opening for any Zelda game. Just so much talking and running around, and you don't have any powers, and everything's really limited. And it's not even like a Metroid, you know. I like Metroid games. It's not that kind of thing. It's just, it doesn't give you a lot to work with. And so I'm hesitant to put it in B tier, because I kind of feel like it deserves an A tier. Like, genuinely, I think this game is really good. It just, current state, it doesn't run super well. The menu system kind of sucks. B tier probably makes sense. Like, I have to make a choice on all of these, right? I don't want A minus, B minus, C minus. Like, that's a huge list. Let's see. Then we played Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, which is really funny, because if you had asked me before, I would have said, oh, I love that game. It's pretty cool. Playing it on stream, I did not like it. It has good bits to it. You just kind of walk around and do stuff, and there's not fun mini games, and it's your run-of-the-mill Game Boy Advance game that happens to be a Banjo-Kazooie game. Not bad, but not super great. I mean, really, just I didn't love it. And the ending, oh my god, was so fucking annoying. Not in a way that's like, oh, this is challenging, but just in a very, I don't want to keep playing this kind of way. There were multiple points during Grunty's Revenge where I was just getting bored. And nothing is worse than the game that makes you bored. I had better memories of playing this from a couple years ago than I did the last time I played it, and I don't think I'm ever going to play Grunty's Revenge again. Okay, after that, we started Splatoon. And not even just Splatoon. We played Splatoon with the online multiplayer from Pretendo. Splatoon was peak. I fully agree. Oh yeah, Splatoon was so good. I love those streams. I still look back at those streams very, very high regard. I feel it goes in God tier. Splatoon, I really like Splatoon. The Splatoon 1 with the online multiplayer and everything was so much fun, which thankfully, well, I don't know if this was directly after, but we did Splatoon 2. I really liked Splatoon 2 single player. Its single player was a lot of fun. It feels like a sequel, sequel. As a base game on its own, I think Splatoon 2 was a lot of fun, and I was wrong. The whole time I was bashing on Splatoon 2 during Splatoon 1's streams. Oh god, I wish I could take it back, because man, it feels like a proper sequel. It had new music, but it like reused stuff too. It was kind of a nice combination. I don't know why I didn't like it when I was younger, but I mean, that was also 2017, and oh god, that's like 8 years ago. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I was playing that way back when. It's been a long time since I really gone back to it, and I think my opinions have just completely changed on it. Where this game only got some like minor stuff with amiibos, Splatoon 2 got the Octo expansion, and I'll be real. Oh, it's hard. Do I want it above or below? The Octo expansion was so good. I had no idea. This was another one where I remember feeling really disappointed when it came out, but looking back, like, that might be one of my favorite gaming things I've done all year. That was so much fun, and the fact that I slept on it for so long makes me like genuinely irritated. I loved a lot of the challenges. Now, not all of the challenges are great. Not all the levels in Splatoon 1 are, perfect. For a game like this, I think Octo Expansion really pushed the bar. And it makes me very curious to see what Splatoon 3's single player is like. But that just leaves me with more stuff to do. And I'm sure soon when the Switch 2 gets announced, I'm sure we'll see Splatoon's new whatever game. I'm sure we'll see that soon. I skipped over Bad Fur Day. How did I manage that? No, I'm sorry. It can't even go there. I'm sorry. No. We gotta favorite game tier. I don't think anything can outweigh how much I appreciate and like Bad Fur Day. Is it all good? No. But you know what? I'm not even gonna try and be I don't know, not trying to be fair with it. I love Bad Fur Day. I don't think there will ever come a game that, even if I love it more, even if I love a new game more, I don't think another game will ever mean as much to me as Bad Fur Day does. There's no point in me trying to go, well, I think this game might have actually been. No, Bad Fur Day is always going to be my favorite game. No matter how many good games I end up playing, it will always be there. However, we did play Live and Reloaded. Live and Reloaded's bad. I think it goes there. I think that's where I'm going to put Live and Reloaded. I did not like Live and Reloaded at all. It changes stuff just for the sake of changing stuff. And I say repetitive, and all the new combat stuff it has you do. It's a downgrade in visuals in a lot of ways. It is really pretty in some areas. It's either really bad, like the combat. You're sacrificing so much. I don't know, Live and Reloaded, whatever, it's fine. After that, we ended up playing Crab Champion with Ender Spider. I think Crab Champions goes here. Playing multiplayer games with friends is just inherently a lot of fun. Doesn't matter what game it is. Like, we played Rally Circuit together as well, but Crab Champions, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's a little weird. First 2 times I played it, my computer could barely handle it. But if you watched the most recent stream, my computer is actually working now, and it's nice. God, it's nice. God, it's a good game. You can kind of customize your challenge, obviously, and I like building a character's stats and strategizing. Really like Crab Champions. I don't have a ton to say on it, and maybe if I was playing it by myself, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. I'd recommend this game to anyone. Really, anything in this tier above, like C tier and above, I'd absolutely recommend. Sonic 1, I really like Sonic 1. I like all the Sonic games, but I feel like Sonic 1 is underrated in a lot of ways. I think Sonic 2 goes about there. I don't hate Sonic 2 by any means. I really like Sonic 2, and that was the one that I played a lot as a kid. I think I've played it too much. I think the internet as a whole has played it too much. I just don't enjoy it as much. I think Sonic 1's more challenging and Sonic 3 is more rewarding. Sonic 2 is just kind of in between, but I would never blame somebody for putting Sonic 2 as their favorite Sonic game. It is a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun, though, is the thing. It doesn't really get challenging until you get to the final zone, right? Metropolis or whatever it is. And that one's just annoying because of a lot of the enemy placements and broken enemy hitboxes, and take that as you will. Sonic 2 could have been so much more, and maybe if I didn't know all that, maybe I'd have a different opinion. I just think it's overstayed its best game status, because I think Sonic 3 is where it's at. Now this represents Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and if I was being honest, I think I like the first half of Sonic 3 more than Knuckles, but inherently they are together. And if I was to put them somewhere, I think I'd put Sonic 3 there. 3 is such a fucking classic. I don't think it's like the best game of all time or anything, but it's really good. And if you haven't played it, man, it's the one Sonic game that Vinny's actually played through. So if that says anything, you know, it doesn't say anything. Well, shut up. Okay, so we're still kind of going out of order. That's okay. In between there, we played another Conquer game, being Conquer Live and Reloaded, aka Project Spark. And the thing is, man, it's rough. It's not, I mean, it's not even, I don't think the fault of the game. Not the fault that only part 1 of 5 came out. It's not the part of the people who wanted to work on it. It's not the fault of the engine. I don't think that's really how I want the continuation of Conquer to go. But it is more interesting to go back to than something like Live and Reloaded or Ukulele or Grunty's Revenge. It's this weird little novelty thing. We had fun goofing around in it. It's really short, and again, you can have a mid-game experience, and if it's only a couple hours long, it may stick with you harder than a game that's 30 hours in mid, right? So that's, I mean, and is it weird to put that next to Ocarina? Maybe. Ocarina may go up eventually, but for right now, I'm liking how this tier list is coming out. After that, we played Minecraft Better Than Adventure. I think Better Than Adventure is good. It's just, I think I kind of found myself being, it didn't scratch the itch of what I wanted out of Minecraft, and I wouldn't blame somebody if it was. I just think I went into going, okay, this is what I want out of this game. Right, this is what I want out of Minecraft, and it didn't really hit what I wanted. And so that's where the Minecraft 2 project kind of has come in for me, kind of rectifying and going, what do I actually want out of Minecraft? Because I thought it was Better Than Adventure, and I mean, I might go back to Better Than Adventure at some point, but I kind of just ended up dropping it. I didn't have like a huge drive to keep playing it. It just kind of came and went. I don't know, it didn't really spark the same kind of thing that making Minecraft 2's mod pack and all that has. That's where I'm at right now. Conker's Pocket Tales is tricky because there were some of my favorite streams, but the game is so mind-numbing. And here's the thing, which we're about to get to Pocket Tales. I want to play Pocket Tales more. I don't think those streams are over, but whereas most of these games, I can say I completed a lot of these, or something like Crab Champions doesn't really have an ending. Conker's Pocket Tales is in this weird limbo where I really don't want to go back to it. I really don't. I think I was just not in the right headspace. So I've kind of been looking at it going, do I want to start over? But if I start over, that's going to be really jarring and weird, and I don't think that's going to inherently be a good decision. But I just whined and complained so much. And had I just gone through the game like I should have, instead of trying to look for other stuff and trying to, I think had I just known what I was looking for to go in with, I think I would have came out the other side perfectly fine. Please don't go back to it. Put it in D tier. Please don't go back to it. Oh, I don't think it's the worst thing though. Pocket Tales has some charm. It is interesting, right? And I think a game being interesting can be more compelling than, like, you can play bad games and they can still have interesting mechanics behind them. Just because a game's bad doesn't inherently mean that it's just got nothing to give, right? I just think it's a lesser form of what 12 Tales would have been, and I don't think it really balances out. It's more of just an interesting diversion in whatever this series is. It's one of those games that's fun to pretend it's horrible when it's actually not good. Yeah, it's just boring. It's boring and not super fun. It's not terrible. It's got interesting bits, but it's nothing that you have to play to experience. We kind of jumped around a little bit. Banjo-Tooie. I love Tooie, because the weird thing is, when I played it last, I had literally played Banjo-Tooie and then a month or two later played it again on stream. Playing it back to back, I noticed a few more issues than maybe you would in a single playthrough, but I don't think people give Tooie enough credit. I think Tooie gets so much shit. I really like Tooie. I think there are some bits, like the N64's performance on that game is kind of mid. Some of the side minigame stuff isn't super fun, which, wow, minigames again seem to be one of the biggest hindrances in some of these games. I mean, we're going to talk about Spyro in a little bit, but other parts feel good. And again, completing a game versus just playing it is two really different things. You kind of have to go, what am I trying to get out of this, right? We didn't complete Banjo, we didn't complete Tooie, we didn't complete DK64. I think for all the faults that Banjo-Tooie has, I think it's still better than a lot of other. See, if I was being unbiased, I'd put it here. Like, this is where I would put Tooie, which honestly maybe would make more sense. I don't really want to put anything like, oh god, that's hard. That's It's really hard because I feel like I'm being biased almost, but really I think Banjo-Tooie deserves right there. Like, it's not that far off from Kazooie. Would an A+ tier, or would like an S tier or an A+ tier help with the balancing of these? Because I feel like some of these were kind of shift. I think having one more tier, and I know that's kind of like I was going, I don't want too many tiers. I think having one more tier may not be the worst idea. I can't believe you put Astro Bot in a tier. It's obviously the best game according to the Game Awards. Well, I mean, and I explained Astro Bot a second ago, but I just think it wasn't as original, and it asked for a lot more of my time than what I was willing to give into it. But yeah, oh, how could I? I think S tier is fine. S tier, God tier, and then my favorite game tier. Oh, why are these games? This is my bias. There's no, like, these are my favorite games. Doesn't matter what flaws they have. I can't see past them, right? Or I can, but I'm not going to. Or whatever. But I think this is fair. And then I think I'd put Crab Champions up in S, and I'd probably put Sonic 1 above both of those. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Where are you at? I got the Japanese logo for some reason. I think if Grabbed by the Ghoulies was like shorter, I think it'd be fine. If it lets you open roam through the mansion, I think it'd be fine. Which, according to their development stuff, apparently Ghoulies was supposed to be more open-ended, but it making you walk through a hallway and then walk back through a hallway and then go through another hallway, and then you get a cutscene, and the cutscene's really not even that interesting. And I was excited. You know, we played Banjo-Kazooie, we played Tooie. I was like, okay, next game by this team, it's got to be good. People just give it crap. I think this is one of the few times where the internet is actually correct in their assessment. Ghoulies is just kind of there. In interviews, they talked about what they had to cut from the game, and the two main things were roaming wherever you wanted to and multiplayer. And I think those two inherently would make the game infinitely better if I could just run wherever I wanted, or if I could just have another friend to come and beat up stuff with me. I don't know. And the cutscenes were whatever. And, you know, for a company that came out, and I realized that the Banjo team is not the Conquer team, and so, you know, Conquer was a lot of animations and stuff, but still, coming from that same studio, it just seems like a downgrade in a lot of ways. I wish that game would have had like an extra 6 months of the development time, because I think it really does, like, it deserves it. It's good. It's got fun mechanics and everything else, but when it comes to moment gameplay, it's just like a lot of walking, not very interesting puzzle solving, and you always, for the most part, you always know what the puzzles are, and it just, I don't know. I think an extra 6 months of development would have done that game great. I think a sequel would have done fantastic. It's just a shame that it did not sell well, and I can't blame people for not buying it. I don't think it's Pocket Tales bad. I don't think it's Yooka-Laylee bad. I don't think it's Live and Reloaded boring. It's better than Project Spark, but that's about it. That's about it. I don't know. It was fine. It's one of the games of all time. It did make a good YouTube short that one time, though. I don't know how that came together so well, but it ended up coming together well. Next video we did soon after was the Halloween ROM hacks, which we didn't really play anything of super note. I know we played like Lost Silver, we played some Sonic EXE stuff, you know, the Halloween hack, or the Earthbound Halloween hack, but really we didn't go through a whole lot, and a lot of those were smaller experiences. Again, weird to put ROM hacks in here. If you want to ignore it and you want to say, hey, like, you shouldn't have put ROM hacks in this list, we'll go from there going forward. But for now, I feel like this fits, whereas something like a lot of the Halloween hacks don't. On Halloween itself, we played Luigi's Mansion, and I'll be honest, I enjoyed it all the way up to a point, and then I just started struggling. The final boss was not very fun, and I probably was really tired. I think Luigi's Mansion taught me something, which is if you're having a bad time, I probably don't need to keep on streaming said game. I probably need to take a break and come back to it. I did that with Mario 2. I did that with Luigi's Mansion. I've done that with a few games where I kind of keep pushing myself because I'm like, well, I want this to be a full video here. But I also was really struggling with that final boss and some other sections that I don't remember struggling with in the first place. I was like, who designed this? I think Luigi's Mansion is like, that's a hard one. It's a fun short experience, but if I was to play it again, I'd probably play it up to a certain point and then stop playing it. I don't think I'd ever go all the way to the very end. I think once you get past like some of the final portrait ghost, it just becomes kind of a crawl to like search the mansion for the rest of the booze, and again, I guess you don't have to have all the booze, or do you? I don't remember. I liked it. Luigi's Mansion's fine. It's good. I definitely don't think it's like the worst thing I've ever played. It's more of a novelty in my mind than some other games, but I have great appreciation for it. So let's see, what did we do after Luigi's Mansion? We did Mario 1, and you know, it is a game of all time. You know, Mario 1, it's fine, it's fun, it's got good bits to it, but it's definitely just Mario 1. It was revolutionary, right? but looking back, I mean, it's short, and it was fun to like that was the first time I ever beat that game. Doing that felt rewarding, and it was cool to see the ending and, you know, all that. But you get to some points where it's just kind of bullshit and not inherently the most fun thing to play. So it's a classic, right? I don't have to defend Mario 1. I think Grandma would defend Mario 1 better than I could. That's where I'm going to leave that. It's kind of indifference, you know? And again, when you're looking at some of these other games up here, like Splatoon, Banjo, Sonic 3, look at Sonic 3 versus Mario 1. It's really hard for me to like compare the two. What about Mario USA / Mario 2? Wait, no, sorry, wrong one. Before that, we played Mario 2 The Lost Levels. I hated that entire experience. That was not fun. It was a challenge, but it didn't itch the part of my brain that's like, oh, this is a challenge, I have to overcome it. It was, this is frustrating and bullshit, and I don't want to keep playing this. That's what Mario 2 Japanese was. I played it right after Mario 1, and you know, there are some things I can appreciate, like there's a lot of levels compared to the first one. What is this word? Oh yeah, a shitty game, an unenjoyable and poorly made game, yeah, but made intentionally or something. Yeah, shit game. Yeah, it's just, and not all of the levels are bad either. There were some fun gimmicks in there, some good ideas here and there. I played All Stars, and this is the picture of the original, but I played on All Stars. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And I can see, and I'm glad Nintendo made this now and said, oh shit, this is not what gamers want. We're gonna go in a different direction. You know, that's a good way to put it. I see the vision, but damn, that is a good way to put it. The one I made a YouTube short on, I remember that being a lot of fun. Like, just kind of, you have to find the block, and then it's, you know, it's a hard jump, and you gotta fix, like, that kind of stuff's fun. Moment to moment levels. I think if Mario 2 didn't have lives, and it saved your progress exactly where you were, by the third world, you lose all checkpoints too. They stop giving you checkpoints. Like, this is insane. Like, if every level had a checkpoint and you didn't have lives and it didn't matter how many times you died, it put you right back at that checkpoint. And once you saved, even if you were in the middle of a level, you saved, it spawned you right back at that checkpoint. I think it'd be fine. You are now doing what is essentially a game and watch in some way, where you're brute forcing your way through something over and over, just keep mashing your head into it till you finally get past it. That can be fun. But the way that Mario 2 did it was not enjoyable. It was not a good time. Very cryptic in some ways. It was not a good experience. And that took me 7 hours. That picture of me with my thumb and the big circle on my thumb, that's real. I've used that picture a few times for thumbnails, but that sucked. I hated playing that so much. That is the worst game I've played by far this year. Moving on. Moving on, we got Mario 2 USA, and where I forced myself to play through all of Mario 1's levels and all of Mario 2 levels. Mario 2 USA gave me some real issues, and I ended up looking up how to beat the game, like the quickest way to just get through it, because I did not enjoy that. Again, it's one of those games, if it just kind of stuck me back at the end of the world, I wouldn't have a problem, but restarting the game over and over doesn't really make for a good stream, and it definitely doesn't make me very happy. It's very annoying. It became more of a challenge of, I want to beat this game. What is the best route to go through? And that still took me, like, that was still a long stream to get through Mario 2. I'd like to experience that game, just all the levels and stuff, but what I'd probably end up doing is the Mario Advance version, because it is quite a different game, and also it fixes a lot of the issues with the saves and all that. I know All-Stars exist, but I didn't want to do All-Stars for Mario 2. I wanted to stick with the OG. I think if I was to be honest, I think that's honestly fair. I think putting them next to each other is a fair assessment. Looks like we played Octo Expansion, and then we played Star Fox 1, which I recently did part 2, but that was in the newer year, so I only had the part 1 up. So it's kind of a weird one to put in here, and I've even said I'm going to do a third part with save states. Star Fox 1, I think, is frustrating in a way that might be easily overcome with time, but I don't find it super engaging. I think it's kind of just okay. If I was to put it somewhere, I'd probably put it like, I gotta put Ocarina somewhere else. Ocarina's gotta go like the bottom of B tier. I think Star Fox 1 being C tier is fine. It wasn't great. It's not awful. I love the music. I mean, the characters went on to be in some really great games. I mean, you know, they're Nintendo icons or whatever, but the first game, it's all right. It's okay. Whereas Star Fox 2, I think I'd put it there. I love Star Fox 2, and I gushed when I beat Star Fox 2 on Expert. I gushed. The music, spectacular. The strategy that you have to come up with to beat some of the situations that the game puts you in, insane, but so much fun. It's not always the most fair on Expert. Sometimes you go, damn, I really, but then all I could do was, okay, I think I realized what I did wrong, and had I done this differently and this outcome still happened, we would have been in a different situation. I wouldn't have just gotten killed. Star Fox 2 has no reason to be as good as it is, and it goddamn has no reason to have not existed till 2017 like it did. I think if you just had a lock on for the Star Wolf cast, I think it'd been better. It's kind of lame that you don't have it. That's like the only complaint I have. The music is spectacular. The fact that I can be in the battle, something flying through space like missiles or something, and all of a sudden one of the members of Star Wolf can come in during the middle of gameplay and zoom in. So now I'm focused on the missiles not running too far, and also I have to worry about Pigma shooting me from behind. The most like, that is insane. This was 1996 on the Super Nintendo. Was it 96 or 95? It doesn't matter. Insane. But Argonaut made another game called Vortex, and it's also kind of a 3D game, and I was gonna play it before this. I don't own it, but I was like, I can emulate it real quick. But it just doesn't, like, the reviews I've seen of it just don't seem that interesting. Kind of just seems like a game. Yeah, and shit like this can happen. We're in the middle of me doing something else, they can join into the battle. This game is outstanding, because things are still moving on the map even though you're there. Again, stuff like that absolutely blows my mind. I love this game so much. That game has no right to be as good as it is. The real issue, and I don't have a problem with it. I've learned to come around it, but I recognize that that's like, it's a serious problem though. The frame rate is really rough. The frame rate is something you just have to get over. Overclocking it doesn't really fix your issues. If anything, it makes the game harder. A native port of that game or a remake or something would be fantastic. I'm going to have to take the frame rate out of my equation just because I want more people. Like, this is so biased. I want people to play more Star Fox 2. If I was to say just based on the frame rate alone, I'd probably have to put it down in A tier or something. Like, the frame rate is kind of bad. And the frame rate was something I argued with Zelda. Game was like, Ocarina was really laggy. I played the original version. I don't know if it gets better in some of the newer revisions. I don't know, but I can tell you this game was laggy as hell. Yes, Star Fox 2 has some serious lag behind it. It is the one complaint that I can give that game, and maybe the homing shot. Otherwise, Star Fox 2 is one of the greatest Nintendo games, period, and the fact that it doesn't get the love it deserves is fucking abysmal. It makes me angry. It makes me irrationally angry. That game deserves so much better than what it gets. Let's see, what did we play after that? I think we've skipped over Diddy Kong Racing DS. I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for it. It's not great, but it did come up with one of my favorite sayings during that stream, which was, this game has a little bit of love in it. And every once in a while, I'll kind of throw that out. Whoa, but look. What? He's got like a little, See, there's good. There's a bit of love somewhere in here. Diddy Kong Racing DS visually, like the world itself, big upgrade. It feels like an evolution in some ways. Things like the trees being cut down in the forest, all the hub rooms having like new designs and stuff. The new music, oh my god, the new music I listen to all the time. It's part of the big playlist I have now. I love those songs. There's a lot of really good stuff in Diddy Kong Racing DS. It's the racing itself is bad. The racing itself is not kinetic. It's not very fun. You gotta scratch on the screen to get a boost. The extra levels where I have to click on balloons are not fun. But it was an early DS game. And if they ever made Diddy Kong Racing remake or something, I'd want them to take some influence from I want the racing mechanics from the original. DS has new music, which is really good. The character designs are kind of ugly, but you get to play as Taj, and there's 4 new stages at the end of the game too. The new Donkey Kong stages, which are really fun. You get to build your own tracks, which isn't that interesting, but you do. That just feels more like a, how do we make a DS touchscreen gimmick? DS, it has a lot of good in it, and it has a lot of bad in it. Mickey Speedway USA. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair placement. Mickey Speedway USA is a good game with some shit balancing. It's a lot of fun to play. It that scratches my brain of, how do I get past this? This is really hard. How do I get past this? I kind of ended up dropping it after the last stream. The main thing was that those final challenges were like almost impossible. Like, they really test your knowledge, and it's beyond my skill. When I can beat Diddy Kong Racing and quote hard mode, but then I can't beat regular Mickey Speedway USA, you know you done something wrong. At the same time, Mickey Speedway USA is a lot of fun. It is actually the third racing Mickey Mouse game by Rare, or second, however you want to put it. I think Mickey Speedway is a good game. I think it's worth playing. I don't think it's worth you getting invested in, though. I think it's a good game to like pull up on an emulator, have some save states, go nuts, play through all the races until you get to the very end, and then, you know, not stress over if you can't beat a certain spot, right? I think that's what you should do. Sonic CD. I didn't mean to skip over CD, but we got CD and Knuckles Chaotix. I want to make like an apology almost for my Sonic CD stream. It was another one where I've kind of gone back and gone, I should really give Sonic CD another chance. Coming off of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you can't play the game the same way. I still think it's really frustrating. It's not super fun. The level design is terrible. The music is spectacular. The bosses are kind of whatever. It really is a mixed bag. But even the story, like, it's probably one of my favorite Sonic stories in general, from the classic era. Like, Sonic 3 story is like peak, obviously, but like Sonic 3 just going through time, and classic Sonic, or Metal Sonic, and Little Big Planet, it's just so weird. It's so weird, and I like that. But the level design is not fun. It starts out okay, and it gets worse and worse as it goes. And I kind of, at first, was going to go after the special stages, and then I was like, well, maybe I should have gone after the robot thing. So I think what I want to do, if I end up playing it again, is I'd probably do 2 or 3 parts where I slowly went through and searched the whole stage. Played it as not a Sonic game, but played it as I got to find all the stuff so I can get the best ending. So it's hard to put Sonic CD somewhere because it deserves so much, and at the same time is very frustrating. Solid B in your opinion? I think it's a game that you have to learn how to play, and I don't think when I played it, because I've enjoyed myself in the past with Sonic CD, but I think if I was to put it somewhere, I think honestly that feels a little more fair. And again, that opinion might change eventually. I have Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 up here, and this is gonna come as blasphemy to some people. I've got Knuckles Chaotix, and I really like Knuckles Chaotix, man. I think Knuckles Chaotix is way better than Sonic 1. I don't think it inherently is better than Sonic 2, which is the problem, but I think Sonic 2 is I don't know how, like, the dichotomy between Sonic 1 and 2 is difficult for me, because I think I like Sonic 1 more. It's more challenging, but I recognize that Sonic 2 is probably better. But this is my tier list. I could do what I want. I don't know if it goes in S tier though. Like, I think it's better than Sonic 1. I think it's more fun than Sonic 2. Maybe if I do like this, maybe I won't feel so bad about it. Like, you put the 3 next to each other. It's like, I prefer Knuckles Chaotix over Sonic 1 and 2. I prefer Sonic 1 over Sonic 2, but they're all right next to each other, right? That doesn't feel bad. That feels okay. Which honestly, I mean, even in Sonic 3's case, oh, that's so hard though, because again, favorite tier means I'm not really rating it. It's just, it's in my favorite games. I think that might be a little more fair, because again, I see Sonic 3 has some flaws, but I love that game so much, it doesn't matter to me. God, that's hard. Okay, Minecraft 2 and air quotes 2. Okay, that's what this picture represents. I have had a fantastic time with Minecraft 2. Okay, 2. That one's kind of hard because it's not even really a thing that I can say, hey, go play this right now. It's more of I'm working on a video on the side, and when it comes out, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. I liked it a lot more than Better Than Adventure, and I'm still playing it actively, but I recognize it's okay, actually, I think I'm just gonna put it here. It's not applicable for me to rate. I don't think I can rate Minecraft in the way that I've played it. I do in the future, but I'd like to get around to it at some point, where I play through multiple different versions of Minecraft. Like, you have 1.0, you got 1.8, 1.13, 1.16, Xbox 360 edition, Wii U edition, because 360, started out really limited, and then by the time of the end of the Wii U, that was kind of one point. So I think like we could probably mix in some stuff here and there. And then I also kind of want to experiment and try some of the other Minecraft games, like the story mode that everybody knows, but like dungeons, I've heard decent stuff on. So I think we could expand out, because Minecraft's such a weird series with all of its different versions and stuff. But I don't think in the way that I have it right now, I don't think it's very applicable to rate. This one is another, I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna put Mario, or a Game & Watch Gallery, in S. It's good, man. Game & Watch Gallery is so good. And this kind of represents all of them, because I played 2 and I kind of was switching between them, and then I meant to start playing 3 and I just never got around to it, and then I got 4 and I never played 4 and I haven't gotten that far yet. So, and I probably will continue playing Game & Watch Gallery 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now I've just had more time to do like full streams, but But when I only have an hour to kill, we are going back to Game & Watch Gallery. I love those so much. Game & Watch Gallery kind of represents the whole series, but I think those games are fantastic. Those are great. And yes, they're small. They're like micro games, you know, but as a collection and as a series, oh my god, I love them so much. I'd highly recommend trying Game & Watch Gallery. After that, we got 3 games left, which I can tell you right now, that's the bottom, an Elf Bowling. And really, you know, the funniest thing is that game gets to sit next to Mario 2. That's the funniest part. Elf Bowling fucking sucks, dude. That was a bad stream. Yeah, I got nothing else to say on that. And then we got the 2 most recent ones, which okay, so I've been playing Spyro 3 on stream right now, but I didn't start Spyro 3, I don't think, until Spyro 2 I started playing last year, but what it... Oh, I started playing Spyro 3 on December 31st. I don't think it's applicable for me to rate it. I haven't even beat it yet. So that's a hard one. Put a tentative tier on it. I can do that. Okay, we'll do that. Spyro 1, I think, is a B tier. I think Spyro 1 is a B tier. Spyro 1, and I have repeated myself so much throughout all of the Spyro streams. I hope somebody doesn't go back and watch the streams. I mean, this guy complains constantly. I'm just so perplexed. It's both really fun and really clunky. Spyro 1 in particular has some really cool level design. I liked some of the attention to detail they gave. I mean, it was impressive for 98. I mean, not really, but also for the team and the budget and all that. Like, it's more of a, I mean, to be fair, it's more of like what an indie game would have been back then. You know, it's a smaller team. It's a smaller team making those games. Smaller budgets, less time. But Spyro 1 is just very clunky. It has a very bad camera. But it does have a lot. I think they have some of my favorite levels in Spyro 1. It's just Spyro himself is hard to control. And then you get into Spyro 2. That's a nice way to think about it. Yeah, I mean, but you know, Spyro had a very small team. It was one of the very first games that Insomniac Games put out. They put out one other game before that, and then they made Spyro. I mean, I don't know a ton about its development, but you know, it feels like an early PlayStation game, like a 94 game, but it came out in 98. It's clunky. Spyro 1 is extremely clunky. Whereas Spyro 2, I feel really refined a lot of stuff. A lot of my issues, like the controls, it fixed losing gems and not being able to find them. It had some stuff to break up the monotony. It had a lot of minigame stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't think Donkey Kong 64 gets a pass on that. I don't think any game gets a pass on it, unless you do the minigames right. But when you have kind of boring minigames, they're kind of here or there. But I liked most of Spyro 2's minigames for the most part. I liked that through the entire game, there was exactly 400 gems. In every world, every level, 400 gems. It was straight across. The story is fun. It was much more of a build-up than the first game was. First game story was ass, dude. It was so bad. Honestly, I don't know. But I really did like Spyro 2. I think, I don't know, this is hard, because then I'm looking at this going, that seems kind of fair, until do I like DK64 more than Spyro 2? And I'd have to say, yeah, like I do. I do inherently think I prefer DK64 over Spyro. And then I go, do I think I like Luigi's Mansion more? I don't think I do. I'm looking at Echoes of Wisdom and thinking how much I really did enjoy that. Okay, so I'm kind of rearranging now. I think that's a fair... I think I like that. And then you said we could do a tentative Spyro 3. Spyro 3 has been interesting. I think it controls even nicer than the first game. I like some of the variety, but there are just so many mini games. There are so many... Just, it feels clogged, and there's so much. And the thing too was, like Spyro 2, I didn't even really mention, it does have backtracking. It's not egregious, but there is backtracking. Whereas in Spyro 3, it's constant backtracking. It wants you to stick around, and it's so much longer than the first game and the second game combined. I've had more streams of Spyro 3 than probably Spyro 1 and 2 when I get done with it. I think bottom of B tier is fair. Like, it's not the worst thing, and if I was a kid, I think I would have loved it genuinely. But I don't know, chat. It's probably my least favorite one out of the bunch, and it has the best story too. It has the best story and best music, but moment-to-moment gameplay gets interrupted constantly by mini games, constantly. And I didn't like that Spyro 2 constantly had dialogue either. It was one of the things I didn't like. But I mean, it's kind of been a pattern with all the Spyro games. You get here to Spyro 1 and they go, "Thank you for releasing me, but I gotta go now." It's like, yeah, there's dialogue kind of throughout it, but this Spyro 2 kind of went a little above and beyond. But I think I still prefer it over 1. I mean, honestly, it's not even that far. There's a bigger difference from 1 to 3, in my opinion. But I think I'd rather play Ocarina. Definitely would rather play Ocarina again better than Adventure or, you know, I don't know. The Ocarina is such a hard one to pick because I enjoyed some parts of it, and I know people really love that game. I've said my piece already on it, but at the same time, I have to go, where do I actually want to put this game? Crab Champion and S tier. Let's go. Heck yeah. Yeah. So really, I think that's the whole tier list. And I feel pretty confident. I feel like that's pretty fair. I might move just like a few of these. I'd put ukulele probably above both of those at the bottom of D tier. I think that's fair. So I want to talk about the few things that I left out. Oh, I didn't put Crash Bandicoot in here, did I? Oh shit, we didn't put Crash Bandicoot. Hold on. Crash Bandicoot 1. Loved that game. This game was a lot of fun. Pretty jank, but I think it goes up here somewhere. It's like, oh, that's so hard though. Oh, that's so difficult. Because I like DK64, but Crash is such its own little, oh, that's rough. That's hard. That's really, really difficult to choose between. These right here, I'd say like A tier as a whole, honestly. Like the rest of these I've been pretty like upfront, but like I prefer Banjo, you know. Star Fox 2 is so good. I think I like Star Fox 2 more than Diddy Kong Racing. I think I like Diddy Kong Racing more than Splatoon 1. I think I like Splatoon 1. Right, when I get to the A tier, I don't think any of these really, like, I think I prefer Knuckles Chaotix over Sonic 1 and 2. But then like you get into Zelda, Splatoon, DK64, Crash Bandicoot, Astro, and like all of these I feel about the same, except maybe Spyro. Spyro may be at the bottom for a reason, but the rest of the, like, especially these four right here, I could almost say are interchangeable. I might just leave it like that. I mean, that's so hard. That is a really hard decision on those four. These five, what am I saying? These five right here, I just, hard to choose between. Really. I think Zelda would probably go above it. Crash coming right behind it probably feels right. Splatoon, DK, and then Astro, which again, I mean, that's A tier. So if I'm looking back at my playlist here, I have a playlist now called the Unsavory. It's just videos that there's no reason not to watch them besides they're not very, like, I don't think they fit good within a playlist. Unsavory, yeah. I put them in the Unsavory. Let me show you, hold on. The original stream ending to Grunty's Revenge plus post-original stream recording. And then Mario 2 was 2.5 hours of me screwing up and just getting really frustrated. And I could tell in my voice and the way I was talking through it, I was just not very, I was not very happy through this. So it's one of those, I call it unsavory. It's not like, oh crap, I said something in there and I need to cut it in, but I don't want them to just go away if somebody wants to sit through and see those streams. So AI or human, not really a game. That was just more of a thing we did. A lot of the Sonic hacking contest, there were some really cool games in the Sonic hacking contest. The ones that I ended up saying were my favorite would probably be the only ones that go on the tier list. And even then, I probably wouldn't put them crazy high just because they're still kind of in development. I feel like, especially when I do these long streams that are compilations, I don't think they really justify, I guess, like something like this on a tier list. The only ones that I would say are like, I did Sonic Advance, but with the better level design. That was a lot of fun. The Sonic 2 Archive, so good. The really wacky RPG Sonic game, that one has stuck with me. That one's weird. But again, does that really fit in a tier list of mostly, to some extent, polished, well, B tier up, polished games? You know what I mean? Not really. I think that's where I want to leave it. I don't think there's any other games I played this year, and I started streaming in like June. It's right here, ukulele. Well, I did the NES stuff, so, and these again, I talked about this earlier, but I started streaming on June 5th. This is when I came back to start streaming. So it's only half a year. So by the time we do this next year, there's a good chance that I not only have double the amount of games, but probably more variety. I want to branch out a bit more. And that's it. That's all the games I played in 2024. Honestly, looking back, I forgot some of these. And to be fair, 2025 has been a really hard year. I definitely plan to play more games between now and I look and I go, fuck, it's already April. But you know, sometimes life just gets in the way. Currently on my Discord, you can suggest games that you would like to see me play. I'm always taking suggestions. And also, it's a great way to just talk to people. Same thing on Twitter. And do people still use Blue Sky anymore? I don't know. I have it. I don't know if people use it. I don't check it, but I mean, you could always message me if you wanted. Man, even listening back to myself from a couple months ago, I'm like, man, I feel like a very different person now than I was then. You know, you never really know. Life is constantly moving and things feel like they just happened and and also happened a long time ago, and time will never make sense. One of my favorite things is to have all these streams archived. That's why they're on the VOD channel. Stream archives or even remotely your kind of thing, please check it out. I put a lot of time into making thumbnails and garbage for that, because one day it would be nice to look back at them and go, that's where I was in life. That's where I was when I played this game last. Here's where I was. You know, I'm gonna look back at these streams in 5 years. I'm gonna look back at this video in 5 years and go, holy crap, where did the time go? But hopefully by then I'll have my life more put together than I do now. But again, I really do appreciate y'all more than any of y'all even know. Like I said, we're almost at 400 subs. That's 400 people who want to see what I'm making. That's wild to me. Maybe one day I can make this more of a thing where I can be more consistent. But I really appreciate the people who just stick around, and I don't know, y'all are all just so supportive, and it means a lot. Thank y'all. That's all the sentimental shit you're getting. Go touch grass. Mwah. Bye.